Hello, everybody.
Oh, crime crew.
Y'all,
What's
good.
up, greatness? I love that.
Hey,
I'm trying
y'all.
All
What you
right,
talking
give
trying
me
about,
the
to
Craig?
fuzz,
I'm trying
Craig.
to get my camera here in focus.
You and the fuzz. Are we live?
We are live,
We are
y'all.
live. Hello,
We're
everybody.
live.
Welcome to yet another Wednesday Night Live with your favorite crime crew,
That's who we are. That's
Dez
who we are.
and
What?
Fuzzy Craig.
I'll get there.
You know, you so fuzzy.
I'm gonna get Ian in here to help me out a little bit.
Ian, help.
Well, that's the one thing that I keep saying about us. Like we, our chemistry and we knowing our stuff, like it's this damn equipment,
I know, right?
right? Like
It's
I
always.
remember like our first few recordings, I didn't even have my mic turned on. Like who knew that,
Yeah,
while I'm recording, I would need my mic turned on?
I know. Well, who knew? Well, now
Who
we
knew
know.
that?
We're learning. We're
We're,
learning, living
we're
and learning
learning
as
as
we
we
go.
go. See,
Yup.
we're kind of color coordinated here.
I know, right? It's funny because I also have on purple pants.
Oh, yeah, we're coordinated. We
So,
look like a box of Tic Tacs. You know how the
oops.
box has like green and red or red and
Hmm.
pink? That's what we look like. I just bought some Tic Tacs, so that's
And
that's where
then
I am in my
Fuzzy
in my
Craig is
brain.
black. Oh, we can't see his hat today yet.
Yeah,
It's gonna be it's
it's the
gonna be a
same
reveal.
Which
hat as last week.
Ah,
oh
Sorry, y'all.
but we like that one though. We like that one. So
No
I know
no
you
need
guys.
to hold up for me. I'll get it situated.
okay.
Fine, bye. Anyway, Desiree,
Yes, T.
I know, I know, you know, the news this week. The news this week about the Reiners is just insane.
Yeah, and so much to that. I think for me at least,
Hold up.
it's extremely layered. One of which is um good luck trying to live your childhood, your adolescence, your teenage years in those late 80s, early 90s years and not be entertained by Rob Reiner in some way. It was just like
Yeah,
he was always there without us even knowing he was there,
right.
whether it was
Yep.
him in front of the screen or behind it, but he was always there,
Yeah.
right? um and his political views and just like just championing for all of us. It really feels like, for me at least, one of those situations where um that little girl Des has
Yeah.
lost someone, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
another
Yeah.
one
It
of her
feels
like
like,
heroes.
we all feel like this loss. It's just so tragic. And just like, one of my favorite actors is Gene Hackman. I
Mm,
love me some Gene Hackman. And
hmm.
when that news broke, it was like a family member. And then like this is just like you hate for these great men to now be attached to the way they left this world versus
Correct,
all
yeah.
they did and all the good they did. And it's a hard one, you know.
Hmm. And I feel it also ties back to, even, some of the things we were saying about Caddy, with the viciousness of,
Hmm.
knives and
Yeah,
these intimate things like that. Like that is just
it's
a
personal.
cruel way to die. And these things are happening to you, and you see as your child. You see that that's your
Yeah.
your son
I
doing,
just I just pray that like they were not aware or awake. Because I was thinking of that too. I'm like, I can't imagine looking up at and seeing my child doing this.
Mm-hmm.
And not only
Mm-hmm.
just your child, but your problem child, but the one you never gave up on, the one you
You never.
constantly tried to give your all to up until the night, inviting him to Conan's party, and being mindful enough to try and be inclusive and not be ashamed or not be,
Mm-hmm.
not want to
Mm-hmm.
exclude him. Like I can't,
Mm-hmm.
Because you just don't want to sit and think and go
Right,
there.
right. Because at any moment, they could have discarded him, right? These
Yeah,
are people who live amongst and move about high people. And so it could have been get away from us. Don't you dare use the
hmm,
Reiner name again. You're an embarrassment, son. We hate the day that we had. Like it could have
yeah, yeah.
easily been that, right? And it doesn't seem like it was. At least it doesn't seem like it was presented to us as if it was.
Yeah. And I'm like thinking, I know that when, the news was breaking, we were, texting back and forth. And I was like, oh, the media said this and they said that and they said this. And people announced it right away before, that it was the son, before anything official came out. And I'm like, that's just such a dangerous, irresponsible thing to do. Um, and you're just like, that's what I dislike about, the media is like they're just going off of these things and
Mhm.
without the facts. And you're just like, yeah, I'm not even watching that.
No, I typically don't, because this is one time where it seems the media may have gotten it right.
Mhm. Yeah,
And we don't even know that until, the outcome of maybe like a
right,
trial and some of these early trial hearings and things like that. But no, the media in the early reporting, yeah, the public wants to know. I don't even know if the public has the right to know some of the stuff
right,
that's
right.
on the news, right?
Because you're like,
Um,
because your family, you want to respect the family first for what the family may or may not know.
right. Yeah, because even one of the families, I want to say Anna Marie from the Colonial Parkway
Mhm.
Murders. I recall reading that her brother said that he and his mother found out about her death in the media before they even found out themselves, right? So
Yeah,
that's what I mean by like, I don't know if we have the right to know half the stuff that is being reported in the media. And just take a moment to give folks a good 30 minutes, even a good
yeah.
45 minutes, even to catch their breath, to make sure has the family members been told like that, those kind of things. But no, I don't watch the news because it's too much, and it's often wrong too much.
And there's just so much this week in the news with the media's eyes on, police efforts. And I was watching, I don't remember what I was watching earlier, the university shooting, and they keep showing the guy walking back and forth and up and
Mhm.
down the street, and it's just like, I'm listening to the press conferences, and I mean, these reporters are just, why don't you have footage inside? Why don't you have footage inside? And they're like, well, once we have something, we'll release them. And they're just not letting up. And it's just like that whole thing where we just have that, you know, we just don't trust the officers and the police departments to get it right. And like, and you got to at some point say you have to trust them at some point, to be able to do their job and then not get in the way of that job.
Yeah, and it's a constant thing. So, um, just here in Michigan, in Lenawee County, there was a detective. And he was investigating a woman's murder. Detective Greca, I believe is his name. The deceased woman, the unalive woman is Dee Warner. She was missing, went missing in 2021. Her remains were found on her home's property in 2024. Her husband was named a suspect. He is awaiting trial, scheduled to go to trial in January of next year. And this lead homicide detective has gone on the lam. He's supposed sir, you have to show up and account for
Oh,
your investigation. And they literally had to send the marshals to go find him and arrest him.
I would say that's because it took 3 to 4 years to find the woman at her home.
It could be a bunch of reasons. It could be, now with the trial coming, now he has to take account for what was included in his investigation, maybe the mode and methods of his investigations. But again, it falls back to law enforcement and these police officers. Because can you imagine that being your mother, your sister, your cousin, and the lead homicide detective 2, 3 weeks before trial is on the lam, and the U.S. Marshals have to go find him?
Yeah, that's crazy. Now,
So
she was found on her property?
on her property.
Was she, but that was like years, like 3 years?
So she went missing in 2021. Her remains were found in 2024. So he
So they did not look at her, search her property then.
or not search her property well. And again, these
That's
are
probably
things.
why he's on the LAM. B.
Yes. Yep. So all of these are things that he would need to account for. And although trial is in another 3 or 4 weeks, maybe a month away, there are several things that we have to do to prepare for a trial. Like, if nothing else, Officer Tanisha, can I see your notes? Do I have all of your reports? Like, we have to gather all of those things. And for him to be on the lam, is very questionable.
Yeah,
But that's
that's
part of that justice delayed stuff that we have talked about a few times before. But yeah,
yeah,
the cops and the media, it makes it really hard for everyday people to trust what's being, because no one wants to really doubt the police, because the police is our savior. We could talk
right.
about the police all day, but we need them. I know I need them
Yeah,
when someone is, I think someone is coming through my bedroom window at three
right,
or 4 o'clock in the morning. I need them. So I don't want to make it like we don't need them, or we
right.
have nothing good to say about them. It's just we need to be able to trust. And the folks in the media are getting their information from somewhere.
Yeah. It's just, we had this conversation. I talked how I had an uncle on the force, a detective. And, it's so there are good, and you know what,
Hmm.
I'm not being biased. Like, it's not just family. I have friends who are on the police force, good friends that I went to high school with, that I am so thankful. And, I pray for them every day that they're safe. And there are good police officers out there, great detectives. And I don't think it's not a sense of individualism, but that
Hmm.
collective, that there's a
Correct.
collective problem.
Correct. Yeah. So and it's just so wild to me how it all just ties together. Even when
Yeah,
you think these things aren't relevant, issues with Caddy, some of those same issues we're going to see and discuss next week when we're talking about the Colonial Parkway murders,
yeah,
right? We see some of those same issues right here as we're talking about Rob Reiner and his son, and like this is like a perpetual cycle of mess.
yeah.
I
It's
was
just
I
Um,
was I was watching something or reading something today, and I was like, why does this keep coming up that like cases are misinvestigated or botched? And somebody goes, it's a systemic problem that's been around for a long time,
mhm,
and
mhm.
it's going to be a beast of a deal to solve if they ever can solve it
yeah,
or fix it.
Yeah, I don't know the exact statistic, but I think it's something like more than 50% of murders go unsolved. And then we have to wonder if the ones that are solved, are they really solved? So even
right.
again, Colonial Parkway murders, that suspect was dead almost 10 years before they, officially named him as the suspect and the culprit, right?
Yeah, so it's just
So
like he was around this whole time. What was the holdup? What
right.
made you wait 10 years, this man's death, to even say, I think we should just finally put a tag on that.
Right. And I can't, one of the things with them that I can't wait to dig in more come Sunday is the fact of how do we go from investigators believing that this the person who committed those crimes was a member of law enforcement to
Yeah.
now our suspect is this deceased man. Like that's a huge jump.
Yeah.
You don't just
Yeah.
throw like you got to have a dump truck full of evidence and suspicions before law enforcement believes another law enforcement person committed something so heinous, and then even more for them to repeat that to the families of the victims. So is that this case is going to be
Yeah, to even
something
mention
to
that
talk about.
and then
Mm-hmm.
not have any sort of, follow up for who you're accusing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's just I couldn't let that one go as a family.
Mm-mm.
I'd be like, no, you guys need to, come up with what you're talking about and
Something else.
explain
Yeah.
what you mean and who. Because if that person is still on the streets, keeping the streets safe, but you just accuse them of doing something crazy like murdering someone on a parkway.
I believe isn't that like federal a stretch of federal land or something like that?
What did you tell me
The
about that road?
Yeah,
I didn't.
it's part of the nat what it is the National Park Service is what it is a part of. So
I mean, it's
that's
historic.
yeah, that's the federal government. And so now y'all these murders are happening on federal land,
Yeah.
right? Not on, a local municipality, but that's federal land and you are bumbling and stumbling through the investigation.
Yeah,
So,
and there was another part in the case too about how, they spread out, and I don't want to give too much, but they basically were combing this entire area. Took them 6 weeks later to find bodies, and it was just two random hunters who found the bodies, and it's just like 6 weeks. So 6 weeks in between there means you just cut off a certain like area, you didn't expand one, and 6 weeks, and it was raining, constantly raining, so any evidence, any tracks, anything, all gone. Six
mhm,
weeks 1 week is enough, is a long time, but 6 weeks,
6 weeks, 6 weeks,
Yeah.
that's almost 2 months.
it's
They're
just crazy.
national parks are federal land, by the way. I just checked.
Yep. Yeah.
Also, speaking of this case, for anybody that's watching this tonight, um, make sure you go to our channel. We have an overview video of the Colonial Parkway Murders case that you can watch just to sort of get an overview, get caught up. Make sure you submit some questions. And on Sunday, we're going to dig really deep into this case.
Yeah.
And we'll answer your questions at that time as well.
So if you want like a brief quick overview to make you run over there and check it out, it's basically, it's been listed as Lover's Lane murders, which I don't really feel like that's an appropriate, thing. It was four couples, and not all of them were, related romantically. One was, um, I'm not going to say anything. You just need to go watch it.
Let's go
But it was
watch.
four couples, and they were murdered along the Colonial Parkway.
Hmm.
Some of the murders, or most of those murders, were connected in the way the crime scenes were left, in the way the victims were murdered. And besides those four, there were actually others who were murdered along there that weren't necessarily connected to that. But who knows? I mean, it could be somebody who got in the way. You never know, but there's some different twists and turns to all of these stories, but yet they're all connected in some way. And and the fact that, they want to accuse a man 10 years after, you know,
After he
Yeah.
dies. Yeah.
Yeah.
it's
It-
exhausting, is what it
yeah.
is.
Yeah. So I got so see I gotta shut up because I'm going to give it because now that we're
No,
talking like this is going to
I
be a
know.
really good like if y'all thought Caddy was good, this one is going to be really really good. And as I'm sitting here listening to what Tanisha and Craig are saying, I am trying my best to keep my dad's mouth shut because
Yeah,
it's so much there. We have been had that podcast tonight, and
yeah.
come Sunday we will have nothing left to talk about.
I know. It's hard. I don't. I just want to, we just come out here to hang with you guys live and just
Mm-hmm.
kind of catch up
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
all that stuff. It's nothing serious today. Just letting you know that we're coming hard on Sunday.
We want to break. Will Craig get a haircut?
I think so because
I
I was
cut well, I
checking it.
cut all my hair off. Yeah,
You cut all your hair off.
Craig,
I
I
do it
like
like
see,
it.
I do
see.
it.
So, what were you gonna say, Craig?
I do it like once every couple months, maintenance, shave it off.
I like it.
It's free. I do it myself.
Okay.
So I still
See,
need to like edge it up a little bit, edge
Looking
up the
like a
back a
young
bit.
skater kid.
yeah, he think he was slick. That was all that
I
fuzzy
saw that
camera
like
stuff,
that
and
fade up
then
going in that.
comes into focus, and he got the dope haircut. Craig, I saw that was the
Bam.
production move on that you just did.
Well,
And what's the hat?
Oh
it's
yeah.
Ghostbusters.
Oh,
Oh, see, that's not the same hat. See, Craig, you is are the hats going to be
he
your
did a
theme?
quick change. Did he do
I
a quick change?
try.
We missed it.
I try. I'll be getting two new hats this week. I'm not like a big hat person either. I just happen to have a friend who is constantly as gifts throughout the year. She gives hats to Ian and I, so
Oh,
we have quite the collection at this point.
nice.
So
I
yeah,
got hats,
so
but I can't wear them on here because they're supporting like sports teams, and I don't want to get beat up and stuff.
yeah,
Yeah.
no,
Sports
don't give
teams
me
I
that.
like.
What sports teams do you
I ain't
like?
talking about that here. Getting the comments, trying to come for me in the comments. This
Let's
is the
talk
Not
about it.
Crime podcast.
Crime. Well, that might be a crime
But
depending on
yeah,
what your
yeah.
team is.
Put it to you this way. The teams that I support working in New York City in the television industry over
Mm.
20 years and going and hanging out in bars, I almost got my behind kicked plenty of times walking in there with a specific hat or a jacket on. Like,
Mm.
how dare you? This is New York City.
This is New York
So,
City. Yeah.
so yeah.
They what Eddie Murphy said they could tell by the way I walk that I ain't from around here.
Mm.
Yeah. So, but what else is going on?
Did you
What?
I just want to say this, and this ain't about nobody's crime unless you are a child of mine. I didn't realize that next week was Christmas.
Oh, it is?
Yep. Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, I think we need to have a discussion about that week. Are we releasing a new case?
Of course we are.
Okay, all right.
Thought he was going to say we need to have a discussion on if we're going to buy Dez gifts.
Oh, given.
Like,
No, we have keep steamrolling. Okay.
well, if
No,
that's the
TV
case,
don't sleep.
It does not.
who
They
cares
just don't
about
read.
gifting Dez great Christmas gifts? No one cares about that.
Of course, of course. I have an idea of fun stuff
Okay.
to get
So
you.
so the 15 minutes of Murder Crew will be working next week.
Maybe
And
we'll gift ourselves some mugs, some 15 minutes of murder
oh,
mugs.
yes. Because today I don't have a fancy mug. I just got a cheapy bottle of water.
Same.
Um,
I just got tea and a
I was like, what
thing.
the heck is in that?
It's tea.
I have my
Okay,
little
Hello Kitty.
Sanrio Hello Kitty. So my kids know that I am a Hello Kitty Care Bear freak, and so
Not Care Bears. Do I have to show up in
mm,
my Care Bear outfit next week? Because I got one.
is is that the line we're on? Because we can be.
Hmm. And don't make me show up with my Bluey cup either, because I love me some Bluey.
Okay,
Everybody
that's
knows that.
you doing too much.
I'm doing the most. I know.
Yeah, that's a lot.
I know.
That's too much.
So what else is happening crime-wise in the news that we should discuss?
Um,
Tanisha is our
oh,
news person. Tanisha, what you
oh,
got?
did anybody? I mean, I don't really want to bring this up, but I mean, since I did work on the Hulu show, Diddy, How It Happened, has anybody caught the Reckoning 50 Cent's documentary?
No, I just keep reading about
I
it.
have not. I have not.
Okay.
But what I have caught is Torre releasing like some shorts where he has found blatant inaccuracies of the documentary.
Hmm.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not
Interesting, because he
surprised.
was one of the hosts on our show. Check it out if you
Was
haven't
he?
seen it. It's called Diddy As It Happened on Hulu.
Mm-hmm.
And it was crime recreation. We literally recreated the entire courtroom drama word for word every week. So it was interesting. And then we had hosts. But it was very interesting. And he was one of the hosts, and he was pretty like Diddy. So it's interesting that he would, kind
Well,
of
I
find discrepancies.
well, I think because there is a difference between um pushing for truth
Right. Yeah.
and calling out what is not the truth,
That's true.
right?
That's
And
true.
so, as a journalist, because Teray is another one of those people, like out with Vibe and Word Up and all of those
Mhm.
magazines, right? Um, where just because Diddy is this,
Right.
come on now, let's keep these facts
Yeah.
straight up,
Yeah.
right? Like let's don't play this game. And I think because I have not watched The Reckoning, but I think that's a lot of people's concern or points of comment is just the accuracy of that in the source.
Well, so what's crazy is that in The Reckoning, like you have footage of Diddy up until, being arrested in his
Mhm.
hotel room talking about, how he wants to spin things, talking about like who did what and who he's gonna call to try and, change people's minds or whatever.
Wait, this is on The Reckoning?
Yes, this is footage
What?
that he had a filmmaker following him, and I guess he never paid the filmmaker, but 50 paid the filmmaker and got the footage, something like that.
Take care of your
So
people.
it,
Yeah.
it's crazy because you are like, I mean, you have Mark Agnifilo in the elevator with him talking about like what they need to do, and like Diddy hollering, going, "You guys don't want me to do anything, so you need to do something. Like you need to address this or you need to fix this." And it's just like the documentary is just like a lot of people coming out. Well, my take is that they put all the wrong people. And I don't want to say, I don't want to discredit anybody, but I feel like they put the wrong people on the stand to go after racketeering and sex trafficking and all of this stuff. The people that were in the documentary
Mhm.
were like who I would have wanted to see on the stand because
So, do y'all know how I always complain about the prosecutor overcharging?
yeah, yeah.
Yep, and how overcharging is a great way for the prosecutor to lose.
Mhm.
And I feel that that is some of what happened with Puff's case because no, that is not racketeering.
Yeah, I know.
But that's not what that was. Like getting on a whole lot of other stuff, but let's don't play this game. Like it was too much there as we see. Like even through the trial, and even as you sit here now and talk about what's in the reckoning, it's so much stuff there that you didn't have to make none of that up.
Right. You didn't have to make any of it up, and you didn't have to
Mm-mm.
take these square circle witnesses to fit them in a triangular peg. It's just like go at like it just to me it was rushed. It feels like rushed and
Mhm.
just trying to just like let's get it anything anybody will like listen to this stuff and be like let's bury him.
Well,
But
I knew from the beginning that it was going to be a production.
mhm,
And what I mean by that is when I looked at the indictment, the first one from Cassie's lawsuits and
Hmm.
stuff, at the top of it in big, bold red letters, it said it was like trigger warning, this material contains this. I've worked cases that had far
Mm.
far
Yeah.
more horrific information in it than that. And for them to put that on there, that was my first indication
Yeah.
as an insider to like how criminal defense worked, that this was going to be a production, that this was going to be just as much about ratings and TV
Yeah.
as it was going to be about justice for
Yeah.
victims.
Because the one thing that I kept thinking to myself is like, okay, I understand what happened to Cassie,
Hmm.
but the fact that you parade this woman in front of a courtroom pregnant, literally having this baby any minute, to sit there when pregnancy is hard enough and the emotions are
Hmm.
hard enough, and you have this woman reliving things that you don't want your best friend to know, let alone your mama, let alone the entire
Hmm.
world. And you
Hmm.
kept that all these times, but then you are willing to just, I get it. There were no cameras in the courtroom, whatever, there were drawings, but that's still a legacy that her child will grow up knowing that this is what was happening to my mom before I came into the world.
Hmm.
And it's disgusting she had to live through it. And it's disgusting that she had to relive it just days before her baby was born. It's
She's
just
going to be
disgusting to me.
Yeah, she's going to be living this forever because she's reliving it right now.
Yeah. I
Every
mean,
time it's talked about, every time a song comes on the radio, she's going to be reliving. Every time she looks in the mirror.
true, true. But it's just like
Um,
I don't know what's going on. And like with 50, you know, with 50, it's just like he is just relentless. And it's almost to the point where like celebrities are coming out and be like, man, like, okay, he did some stuff. Like, let the courts do it. You don't have to be the vigilante like out here trying to slice and dice Diddy up. Like he can sink himself all on his own. Like chill, and like just the battles that he goes through back and forth with like Marlon
right.
Wayans and
Hmm.
and it's just like
Yeah,
Diddy.
and that's one of the reasons that I have not watched it because it feels more like a personal pursuit
Mm,
than a let me enlighten the public about, what was going on
mm,
with someone who we all have allowed in our homes and in our spaces. Like I was a huge Puff fan. Like, do you hear me? I mean,
yeah,
like
like don't like
man,
I
don't
mean,
play with me about Sean Combs, right? So it's that level of like, why did you do that? You know what I'm saying? Like, I almost feel like it's like what he did was personal against me. Like, why would you betray me like that, Sean? Like,
yeah,
like I
yeah,
believed in you,
yeah,
Sean.
yeah.
Um,
I
but
have to
but
say it's done tastefully, and it's done with just care for the
mhm,
victims, and it's done well. There are a lot of things that I forgot all about. There were a lot of things that happened. Like it's a lot of Puff's early start and how he, came up and just how he was
mhm,
groomed pretty much by his
okay.
mom into the lifestyle that he leads. Because he learned basically spoiler alerts, but you should have watched it by now. But spoiler alerts is that, he grew up going to these parties that his mom would throw that were
Mm.
like so I mean, he basically just kind of
Because
grew
his
up and
dad was a
elevated him.
street dude too,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So yeah, so there is absolutely a level of exposure
yeah.
that he would have had. And I think even like would say like Michael Jackson, right? So one of the things with him and his behavior was that Michael may not have necessarily been essayed as a child, but being around his older brothers. There was some, allegations of them watching pornographic material and
Mm.
just being exposed to
Yeah.
those things um is enough to warp your behavior or the way that you see things. So
Yeah.
yeah, if he was, and then if that's true, because this just hit me, Justin Bieber, Usher,
Oh
right?
my God.
They would have been exposed to Puff's things the way Puff would have been exposed to his parents'
Yeah.
things. So that
It's just a
cycle,
cyclical, like
yeah.
it should.
And Puff's
And,
sons were they
oh,
they were that phase, see?
when okay, his son, Justin, I think it's Justin, just being like dad's little mini me sidekick in all
Mm,
of this. And it's just like, why would you expose your son not
hmm
only to this world, but engulf him into this world to where he now operates like this? Like, and if that, based on what I saw, I ain't saying that like everything is like 100%, true, but from the way he's carrying himself and the way he's going to bat and defending his dad, knowing good and well what your dad been doing. And granted, these are adults, okay, like doing adult things behind
hmm
doors, but to a
hmm
level that you have to be like, come on
Right.
now.
But if Craig and I are doing dirt and Craig gets caught doing the dirt that the two of us do, then I am probably going to come to Craig's defense because
You
I don't,
just don't want to be sitting next to
right,
Craig
but
filing
also,
shanks.
right, but also I don't want to like I want people to believe that Craig did not do those things because I therefore will want them to believe that I did not do those things. So I'm going to defend Craig. Like,
Mhm.
nah, Craig didn't have that party. Nah, Craig
Yeah,
wasn't there. Nah, Craig didn't do it. And the whole time I'm thinking, oh, I hope y'all believe that about Craig. Because if y'all
yeah,
believe that, then maybe you will believe me too.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's just such a mess. And like I gotta tell you, like that documentary, I'm not gonna lie, because my best friend is probably watching this or will watch it later and be like, I did fall asleep a couple times, and I may have had to go back and watch the ends because,
Allegedly.
yeah,
Mhm.
allegedly I fell
Allegedly.
asleep. Listen, I was editing, I was tired, but the ending has quite the like, huh, type
Mm.
deal, and you're just like, this cat ain't ever gonna learn. He's never gonna learn.
Yeah.
Um, because right up until the last I'm checking out of the hotel, what does Diddy have with him? What can we think that Diddy would have in the hotel?
Tanisha, you
Some good
scare
old
me.
fashioned baby Earl. Like Diddy. You can't let you the whole like Diddy and baby oil and Johnson and the
Oh,
jokes are endless.
yeah.
And the one thing you're gonna have in the damn hotel when you are waiting to be
hmm
arraigned is baby oil and
Well, I,
multiple bottles of it in the joint.
I I am willing to go on record and say that I would not be surprised that there is another boatload of charges coming down.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Like,
That's for
because what
sure.
did he get sentenced to? 4 years?
Yeah, 4 years.
He's not going to come home in 4 years. I will be very surprised if he comes home in 4 years
Yeah, I don't
because
know.
they seem to want him, and it seems to be just from what you're saying, because I haven't seen it, just from what you're saying from the documentary, there seems to be enough stuff there to charge him with some more stuff.
Yeah, but I guess the thing is like I guess the statute of limitations type deal or
Well, see, when you're the feds, you'll figure all that out.
true, true. And like, people, I still don't understand why it's strange to me of who they chose to bring on the stand because I don't want to lessen people. Like, I'm sure Kid Cudi, was scared because somebody put a bomb in his car that blew up like a firecracker and set some of the, you know, car on fire. But like,
Yeah,
that's not who I'm bringing. That's as a prosecutor, that's not who I'm pulling to put on the stand to prove my point about him trying to murder somebody. I don't know.
well,
I was just very
I thought that the Kid Cudi part um was a win for the defense.
really
Yeah, because
well,
I felt that the Kid Cudi part it shows Cassie's level of like manipulation. Because you know you with this dude. You
yeah,
messing
yeah,
with Puff and you know Puff into all kind of stuff. And then now you have brought this man.
yeah.
Here comes Scott
Scott
Study.
Scuddy. Oh,
Right? And you'd have brought him into this, and all he wants to do is just date you. He chilling, boo, 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 boo. And now his car getting blown up. So from a defense wise, I saw that as a win for the defense. I felt horrible for Kid Cudi
yeah,
because that's embarrassing.
yeah. I mean, some of the things, that he was saying was just like in the courtroom were just I did chuckle a little bit.
Mm,
But it's just like those aren't I feel like they were celeb grabs, like the Cassie and Kid Cudi
right.
and like
Yep. Yep.
that's not what I'm bringing
Yep.
because there were people who are lesser known people who are not going to get the media attention who literally came to this party maybe just for the first time because they heard, oh, Diddy's parties are so cool,
Mhm.
I want to be at them, and they go to this party and then they wake up laying next to Diddy, don't even know how they got there, don't know what
Right.
happened. Like,
Right.
those are the people, like, not the ones that kept going back because there was something in it for me.
Right.
I was
But
going to
back
get
to
something out of this.
right, and that goes back to my initial reaction when I read the indictment when I said at the top of the page is bold, capitalized red letters saying essentially, oh baby, this finna be a production. But instead of it saying that, it just said trigger warning, this
Yeah,
document contains sex, mayhem, drugs, and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I knew because never seen an indictment on that. And I have had cases where there are um deceased people all across this country, trafficked children, and it's
yeah,
never a warning like that. So I
yeah.
knew this was going to be about some
That's
ratings and a
that's
production.
interesting. That's
I've
an
never
interesting
seen
thought.
that. I've never seen that on the top of an indictment before.
Mm,
So I knew this was going to be this. And
Yeah.
that what has been the turnoff for me about that.
yeah,
And that's unfortunate because it looks like um some really horrible things have been done to some people.
yeah,
And I think the production of it kind of takes away from that sting because
mhm,
people are now focused on, like you said, the celebrity of it all
yeah,
versus hold on. You can't do these things. Never mind
yeah,
who's a celebrity and who not. What happened?
yeah. And it's just like the nerve and the gall to think that you can do this over and over and over again
Hmm.
and get away with it
Hmm.
because you
Hmm.
have been.
Mhm.
Right,
We're not going to
right,
also talk about how 50 went down that path of Diddy did it. Sorry, Tupac. Sorry, Biggie. But y'all were getting too close and y'all were planning on working together. And Diddy don't like that. So Diddy gonna do something about it. But what do you
Well,
know? I don't know. I don't know. But all I know is that stop doing dirty, people. Stop doing dirty in the world. Like, there is nothing in it. Crime don't pay.
oh,
Okay.
it do before a hot second.
Well, yeah, it do for a hot second
Oh, for a hot second.
until
Oh
you
yeah, it
literally
do.
have to pay. Um,
Mm-hmm.
it ain't worth it.
Mm-mm.
It's not worth it to be out here envying other people's lives,
Mm-hmm.
taking other people's lives.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's just,
Because what boat, what trip, what pair of shoes,
yeah,
what anything could Puff have gained that would have been worth this level of embarrassment at this
yeah,
downfall? Like none of that. Is Ford Motor Company hiring? That's what I want to know. Because if
yeah,
the other option is this, I'll just be regular all day, every day.
yeah, yeah. It's like when is your shame like
Mm-hmm.
literally going to be worn on your face? Like that
Mm-hmm.
pathetic, I'm sorry, Cassie, little video he did. Like nobody cares, nobody believes you. But like,
Right.
at what point do you be like, we know everything you did to her. We know everything you did to other people.
Right.
Have you no shame?
Mm-hmm.
You got a mama
Obviously, no.
watching.
I obviously no.
I don't know.
Because he
You don't
had
know the
how
world
many
is sick.
years? Yeah, he had how many years to correct that behavior?
Yeah. And
Because
instead of
we
correcting it, he just
absolutely. Yep.
trying to
Because we
figure out how
all
to get
fall
away with
short.
it.
We all
Yep.
fall short and we
Yep.
all do something. But the difference, I think, is that at some point it is a hold on.
Yeah. Yeah.
You doing too much, chill out. But
Yeah.
he never got to that part.
I'm telling you, I don't know. What do
Well,
you think, Craig?
I think that if we're going down the road of documentaries, um, and we're going to start talking about Netflix documentaries and Hulu documentaries, especially Netflix documentaries,
Do we have an
um,
offer for us yet?
well, that would be great. I would love to have
Manifesting it.
Okay.
a video, like a video series slash podcast
Hmm.
series on
Hmm.
Netflix,
Hmm.
maybe someday. But there's also another documentary, and we can touch on it next time we go live. But The Perfect Neighbor, which was just nominated for an Oscar. So I think
Really?
because of that, I think it's definitely going to be worth talking about at some point.
Wow. Yeah. If you have not seen that, I know Craig, I think you said you've seen it. Des, have you seen that?
I have. And I was
That's
going to make the
just,
disclosure like when we talk about perfect neighbor, listen, I'm just warning you, I cry a lot and I
yeah.
ugly cry.
Yeah.
And this was definitely a documentary and a story. Never mind
Yeah.
documentary, a story, a set of
Oh,
conditions that these people were living in that will make you cry and cry
and
really hard.
just it and the thing that makes you cry the hardest is that it was avoidable. It was avoidable. Something could have been done multiple times. And instead it was just brushed off until it
Mhm.
was too late.
Until it was too late.
Here we
And
And
go
who
again, right?
Here we go again. Here we
Yeah.
go back to what I always say. I blame the police.
yeah, yeah,
How many times are y'all going to keep showing up here?
yeah,
Police know
yeah,
they know how to write a report
yeah.
to make the prosecutor grab hold to it. Because you can write a report and the prosecutor says, there's nothing here," or you can write a report and the prosecutor says, "Go get them."
I'm gonna have to kind of shut my mouth too. We have to be trying to be like neutral, but I mean, I think we know why.
Maybe this is a good one for our next live to dig into a little bit
No, I think
further.
so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
so.
yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
That'll give us something to discuss. And of course, we'll wrap up in
Yeah,
our live next week. We'll be wrapping up the Colonial Parkway murders,
Hmm.
which everyone should, of course, go check out our overview here on YouTube.
Hmm.
I think it's what, a 10-11 minute overview.
yeah.
We will have some more information, case file information posted on our Substack, which is where you can also sign up for our email list. You can find that on our website or just go to 15minutesofmurder.com. And all that information is listed there as well.
Hmm.
And again, we're not like the overview that you watch, it's 10 minutes. So it's basically, we're not locking you into a 30-minute episode where you're just like, come on, they're just trying to drag it out. We want to know the facts. We want to know who and what happened and what was done or not done in a quick format so we can get to discussing it. So
Right.
we can get to
And we want
talking.
to get you engaged, right? So we
Yes.
And
want to,
involved too. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So we put that out there to give you time to think about it and say,
Yeah.
oh, wait a minute, right? And let me type this question under the comments because Des always got something to say, and she always talked about the police, but my dad is a police.
Yeah.
Like what? Yeah.
Yeah.
So we want to hear your
Yeah.
input and your thoughts, or even some of your personal experiences with this kind of stuff.
Yeah, this is like we love to make this a big open forum for everybody to join into the conversation. It's
Right.
not just the three of us. Like we said, we would love to, eventually bring on some viewers, and you can have a little slot right down there or right over there, and join
Hmm.
us in the conversation, and
Hmm.
go on a podcast with us, or maybe even join a live.
Yeah.
So engagement. We would love for you to
Yes.
get involved.
Yeah.
Well, I think that may be a good spot for us to wrap up tonight's live.
Yeah,
I feel like we could just sit and chat for
I
an
know.
hour or two.
Always.
Yeah.
Like we
Always.
usually do.
So that will always be our downfall because the three of us, we're gonna run our mouths anyway. And
Mhm.
now we have cameras and lights in front of
Yeah.
us. So what's gonna make us shut up?
Nothing, Craig.
Me
Craig up for
saying,
Craig
right.
is like, that's a wrap.
let's go ahead and wrap things up.
He'd be like, I
Yeah.
told y'all 10 minutes ago, it's a wrap.
Well, wait a minute. Remember? No.
But what about?
Gotta
But yes,
go.
but thank you everybody for joining us on our Wednesday Night Live, because I love to call it Wednesday Night Live. Thank you for joining us, and tune in on Sunday when you can see the full podcast where we break down all of the details and our thoughts and opinions on the Colonial Parkway murders.
Hmm.
Yep. And we'll see you here next Wednesday at 7:30.
Bye,
Bye.
y'all.
Good
Bye,
night.
y'all.
See you later.
Alligator.